Hello everybody, it's Michelle, and today I'm going to show you how I made these glass pebble luminaries. We made this very large one here for my daughter's room. We just bought the glass vase at Walmart and glued on the pebbles, and she has placed in some battery powered lights, little twinkle lights that you can get at Walmart. And you can turn those on, fading or flashing or however you want those, and put that down inside. I'll show you those lit up later on. And this one here, I just purchased a jar candle from Walmart that was already in the glass, and I just glued the pebbles right to the outside of the jar on that. And today I'm going to show you one. I've just got the glass, and we're going to put our pebbles on that and drop in a votive. Okay, to get started, just choose a glass vessel that you want to put your pebbles onto. That may be an empty glass like I've got here, or one already with the candle in it, or one that you want to drop lights into. Large or small, it's up to you. And then whatever your light is going to be, whether it's battery powered or candle, whatever. And then you're just going to need some E6000 glue. I've got here, it's almost used up. We used most of that on the larger one that I showed you before of my daughter's. And then I got these little glass pebbles at Walmart. I think it was 97 cents for this. We're just going to use clear today, but they have several different color choices that you can choose to match with your decor. I'm just going to cut those open, and we can get started on gluing those. Now today we're working with a very small little glass container. So we may be able to go straight through and just glue all those on. But when we were doing the larger one for my daughter, I had to do a couple of rows around the bottom and then let that dry, and do a couple more rows, let it dry, because the weight of too many pebbles was kind of pushing each other off of there. So just keep that in mind if you do choose to do a large one. Now you can turn this upside down and work from there, but I like to leave it the way it's going to be sitting so that I make sure I don't extend past that area that's going to touch this table surface. That way I know I'm not interfering with how that's going to sit when it's finished. Okay, and this is a very simple project. You just put a dot of glue on the back of each pebble and stick it on. You could do all clear or all frosted. You can alternate a pattern if you want to. I like to just do these kind of random. I just dump out my pebbles, and just whatever I grab is what goes next. I do like to work in horizontal rows. That way I know in each row that each row is complete before moving on. As you can see, it doesn't take a whole lot of the E6000. Just a little dot on the back of each one. That E6000 holds the glass very well once it's set up thoroughly. Okay, now as you can see, we don't really have room for another one there, so at that point you can kind of twist them around, maybe turn some to where they go widthwise to fill in that gap, or whatever you need to do to make that row fit before we move on to the next one. Maybe just split the difference and scoot them a little closer. And then we'll start the row above it. You can get these pebbles at Walmart, like I said before, or I've also seen them at Dollar General, maybe even at Dollar Tree, I'm not sure. But I have some of these on hand just stocked back in an emerald green color. And I saw some at Dollar General the other day that had clear and red. And I thought those clear and red with the green that I've got would make a beautiful one for Christmas. You can really mix this up. Any color scheme that you want to choose is going to help you personalize it to a different occasion or a different decor. Okay, see, I've got one falling off back here. So we may need to do, like I first mentioned, that we did with the larger one, and we may need to let those two rows dry before we go any further, because they are starting to push each other off, as you can see. Okay, I think these have set up pretty well by now. The humidity is working against me today, so maybe this is not the best project to be doing in August. The first ones that we did were back in the winter and it was much easier. So maybe you might want to do this project when there's not so much humidity, or maybe you may know of a quicker setting adhesive for glass, but I've just got the E6000 and the humidity doesn't seem to be working too well with that. So just a little tip for you there, you may want to avoid the humidity. Okay, we're going to try to put on a couple more layers. See if we can do that without it sliding off on us. Even though the humidity's fighting me a little bit, this E6000, when it does set, it holds really well. I really like using it for glass projects. And it will remain completely clear, which helps with things like this. It's going to have light inside. So and this is a very simple project. It's really just as simple as gluing them on and letting it dry. After each row, I like to kind of come back around and press in, make sure that they're not starting to come loose. And we're going to try to go ahead and do that last row so you can see it completed. That looks like it's going to fit perfectly to where that last row just barely comes up above the edge of the glass there. I like when it does that. Gives that free-form edge at the top. I like that a lot. When you're choosing a vase or whatever type of a glass vessel for this, just keep in mind that it doesn't need to have too many curves or it becomes difficult to kind of cover the entire surface with these pebbles. This one is slightly curved, kind of a almost kind of a fishbowl shape. And the large blue one that I showed you had some slight gentle curves to the shape of it, which didn't interfere too bad. And the little purple one had straight up sides, which was really much easier to work with. I've seen this done on glass bottles. Just about any kind of glass vessel that you can get a light inside of and that light will shine through is going to work. Whoops. Now see, there goes my pebbles falling off again. Just keep pressing them back in. Let's see if we can fit one more in that last little spot. Choose kind of a small one here. Hopefully it'll fit. Come back around, press all those in, make sure that everything's fitting together. We're kind of overlapping a little bit there. Just shift them around while we've got a little bit of time to work. Make sure everything's fitting together. And that's all there is to it. Just give that a little time to finish setting up till it's dry completely. And you can come in and put your candle in there and light that. And like I said, you can use any kind of glass vessel for this, any size that you want. The larger one that I did of my daughter's did take quite a while. Like I said, I would do a layer or two and then give it a few hours to dry, do another layer or two. And I actually worked on that one for a few days before I was finished with it. So just depending on the time allowance that you have and patience, you can make these as large or small as you want. I will light these up when it's dark so you can see the way that those sparkle. So let me know if you all like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a like over on Facebook and follow me on Pinterest. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.